I want to ask you what you think about the announcement from the Biden administration, the president himself, on marijuana. If you'd been arrested, or I don't know exactly how it's going to work, how it's going to play out, but with possession of marijuana, that's going to be expunged. And
to the 33 people with federal convictions for marijuana possession, I applaud them.
No, I was wondering about that. Have you read anything about it?
Well, I read today that it's like 6,000 people. And then that, I don't think that includes Washington, D.C., because obviously the federal government is the local government for Washington, D.C. So it's going to be thousands of people just within Washington, D.C. also. So I think it's messaging. He's sending a message at the federal level of how he thinks marijuana should be treated. So it's real for those thousands of people, but it's symbolic but meaningful. It's
supposed to give the analysis. It gives cover to governors like Newsom, and even some people are speculating that some red state governor might. It's a pretty popular issue at this point, and it's a pretty well understood issue at this point. I think that it would be a good thing even for red state governors, and certainly for someone like Hochul in our state, New York, or Newsom in California. So that's
my thought on this has always been that the government was dragging its feet, not out of morals, but because they wanted big business. And I'm not a conspiracy far left guy, but it just feels like they were waiting for like business to be in place before they were like, okay, now it can be legal now that we know people who can capitalize on it.
There's some truth to that, because I covered a lot of these back in the day. And, in California, when it was a referendum, I believe, like the alcohol and tobacco industry spent millions lobbying and donating to politicians so that they would do that, because they know exactly. I think pharmaceutical too, some of the, painkillers and stuff that we get addicted to. They're all worried about cannabis cutting into their market. And so they did spend money.
It should be legal. I don't really care. I might buy some gummies. I will say this. When I had knee surgery in March and I was on Oxy, low dose, 5 milligrams, like the smallest pill, but it felt really good. And all I kept saying, I slept great for those like 2 weeks when I was on Oxy, even though it was a low dose, because my body is a temple and it's pure and I didn't need a lot. But I kept thinking, I just want something that will make me feel like this once in a while. That isn't heroin.